I found this place yesterday. I thought we'd take a walk up to the Fairy Hall. I hope you are well, and I am still roaming around the countryside of Devon. We're just leaving a busy road and heading up into the most enchanting little walk that I have been on yet. Past these gorgeous houses and up into the wilds. So, as we start walking, let's start to grow roots out of our feet with each step. I just want to point out, this is wild garlic, and they can be sprinkled into salads. And I guess you can eat the leaves as well. Feel those roots heading down into the earth. And then encase yourself in a beautiful ball of golden light. As we head to the Fairy Hall. And feel the peace and the healing of the British countryside. Soon we should leave behind the noise of the traffic as we head upwards and upwards into the fields and the countryside of Devon. And you can hear me huffing and puffing, how unfit I really am. Big step. And there's so much moss here. It's a very wet place normally. Right up into the trees. Lichens and the moss grows. And if you've got lichens in your garden, lichens, it means that the air is pure and clear. And here in Devon, the wind literally blows off the Atlantic Ocean, and it doesn't get polluted. Not like where I live, further up the English Channel. And at the time of recording this, it is Beltane. Spring is rising up in the northern hemisphere. The birds are singing and helping to open the blossoms with their song. And the area I'm in is a big producer of honey, and there are bees everywhere from the monastery buzzing around the locality. Just look at all those little stars that Ramsons the wild garlic. Up the fairy walk. So let's start to open your dantians. Starting at the lower dantian, just below your belly button. And then up to the heart with the middle dantian. Opening it up and activating it. And finally, up to the yin tang point in the middle of your forehead, where the third eye is. Opening and activating that energy center. And now we come to the fairy hall. Very ancient church. This is the first one that was ruined, and then behind it the ruins of the second church. Let's enter. The bluebells are out. And we'll just walk around the fairy hall. Just left, the little yellow flowers are celandine and also dandelions. Oh, a little headless statue of a child. There are lots of child graves here, and they look like they have little fairies on top of them. Let's walk into the first ruin. Peek through the doorway at the cherry. A real place for peace, healing and tranquility. So part of my job as a gardener is to tend to graves. And I had one woman ask me, "Are you not scared of the dead? You're not scared to work in a graveyard?" And I said, "No, the living scare me far more." To which she laughed. I'm going to walk around just through, show you the Prima Rosa, first flower of spring, the bluebells. And let's just follow the path. Some of these graves, 1898 there. I'm sure there must be some older ones, 1951 over there. And there is a grave in here that is thought to be the inspiration of one of the Sherlock Holmes books, The Hounds of the Baskervilles. So I'm not sure what happened to this. It looks blackened from smoke, doesn't it? You see the spots growing on it? That is lichen or lichens because of the air being so pure. Profusion there of England's favourite flower, the bluebell, with the prima rosa and of course the dandelions. Completely empty and open to the skies. See that tree there? Guardian of the churchyard. Eehaw. Draw that for you. Eehaw. In Celtic Reiki, that is the distant healing tree. A tree that travels down the ancestral timelines. A tree that can move forward to heal that has not happened yet. Generational healing. And also a tree that is used in chemotherapy, the Texas baccata. Of old logs with life just growing over it, the stinging nettles, the bramble, the ivy. And it is said that wherever you find stinging nettles, humans have lived before. Denotes human activity. Not sure why. Here we have the holly just about to flower. Protective, feminine energy. Sycamores, young sycamore trees, and here we have the beech, keeper of knowledge. There's another ancient beech tree. Oh, look at this. Oh, I'm going to have to stand back so you can see it. Old craggy mother tree, so old that the heartwood has fallen out. and disintegrated. A beech tree, and the weeds growing up into it are called cleavers or goosegrass, and it sticks to you. As children, we used to pick it up and throw it and put it on people's sweaters. Here we have one of those children's graves, and look, someone has garlanded her with pearls for love. So this is the newest part. We won't walk around all of it. We'll walk back to the oldest. Still very much visited by the locals. Oh, look at this. Very Art Deco. That almost looks Egyptian, doesn't it? Zoroastrian. What an interesting gravestone. And a cherry in full splendour. The heavenly tree. A tree that Henry VIII laid waste of southern England for, to treat his gout and his arthritis. And there's a very famous drawing of the Madonna and Child with just a random bunch of cherries, heavenly fruit. And here is a plum. Just absorb that into you. Take a breath in. Oh, the fragrance is ever so delicate. Very young tree. See how small its trunk is, full of promise and new life. Here we have a different blue flower, the forget-me-not. More cherry trees with the banded trunk. And a younger yew tree. Eoho. Eoho. And here we have a very old cherry, a wild cherry. So old that the bark has been splitting, with the gort, the ivy running up it. And here's the majestic guardian, the old Earho. Earho, you of the Druids, Taxus baccata, oldest of woods. Earho, Earho, you of the Druids, Taxus baccata, oldest of woods. Here we have another tree. Look at the light shining on the copper beech. Again, a keeper of knowledge. Beautiful young foliage. With the light shining through as it's so young. With the gort twisting and turning and finding its way up, reaching for the sky. Old church. Actually, I should think this probably was a Victorian church, especially if Hound of the Baskervilles was inspired by this tomb that we're coming up to here on the right. Where 3 men from the same family are said to rest. But it looks the most modern of the buildings, doesn't it? Not very pretty, but these grills here are said to keep the devil in, because apparently they weren't very nice men. There's another very royal looking sarcophagus. I can't actually see a date on it though. Shall I be brave or naughty and walk in? Even though it says I'm not supposed to. I've never... Oh, look at that. Open to the skies. Life growing and flowering above, always finding a way, the valerian growing out of the nooks and the crannies. Walk down the aisle. Genuflect, because this is still a holy place. Up to where the altar would have been. Now I can't see over this wall, but you can. And there we are, back at the fairy hall. So just take a breath in, breathe out and grow those roots down into the ground below you. Down, down and down. Thank you for watching and goodbye.